favorite people. Welcome back to another video. I'm Mrs. Berger.
And I'm Mr. Lamb, and we're having another video today on modeling a multiplication of fractions.
Models, so pictures of multiplying fractions.
Oh, they're models of fractions.
Yeah, not models of fraction operation.
Gotcha.
So your learning target, I can model the multiplication of fractions.
Wow, that sounds familiar.
And I can show evidence of my thinking on paper. Remember,
sometimes you're going to get tired of us saying that, but you got to use that pencil and paper.
No, we're like learning math. We have to write it down.
Yes, we do.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about a multiplication model. Do you want to take it?
Sure, I'll take it. So when we use multiplication models, what we're talking about is taking a model of 1/3. See the columns, 1 out of 3, 1/3. And here,
oops. God bless America.
It's okay. And here we have 3/5, but this is rows. So when you're doing modeling multiplication, think columns and rows.
RC, so think RC Cola. Remember back in the day there was RC Cola? I think they still sell it at Walmart. So rows times. Oh no, I did it backwards.
I was trying to get it across to her without actually saying it.
Okay, well.
CR Cola.
Okay, it's CR Cola.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's CR Cola. That was way back in the day.
Yeah, well, I always do rows times columns, but it's okay. But you can do rows times columns or columns times rows. It's called the commutative property of multiplication.
So anyway, so like I say, so this is 1/3 and it's done in columns. This is 3/5. It's done in rows. And then the model is just when you take these two things and push them together. Okay? And so there, see the purple, right? That's that blue is here. That's the 1/3, 1, 2, 3. And there, the pink here is that red. So it's
3/5.
3/5. And then the part that's important, the most important, is this I can write it, right?
Yeah.
Is this section right here where the two colors come together. That's the numerator.
That is the numerator.
Okay, so here it even shows you, so 1/3 times 3/5, 3, the numerator, and then all of the boxes become the denominator.
Right, because when we add when we combine, not add, when we combine this columns and rows, it creates like a little grid effect, right? So all of the little squares are the denominator, and the double colored squares are that numerator.
Yep, so the two things to remember, where the two colors come together in all of the boxes.
Yes, all right, so let's look at another one, right? So here I have, again, columns and rows, right? So right now, just for the record, columns go up and down, rows go side to side. So
yes.
Columns and rows. So here I have the model of 4/5. Like you can all see that's 4 out of 5 colored in. Good Lord. And then here I have the model 3/4, 3 out of 4 colored in. So when I overlap them, I create this grid. And here's how I read it, right? So the total number of little squares is the denominator. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 little squares. And my double colored is that numerator. So
12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And remember, this is a multiplication model. So the denominator, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where the 20 came from.
I could find the area of the square.
Ooh, thank you. Very good.
All right, so let's look at a couple more. You stole my control.
I did.
Jeez.
That's because you forgot.
No faith in me, guys. All right, and here's just a couple more examples, right? We won't go over them all because there's a lot of them, but you can just continue to see, right? The first one we kind of model. 1 out of 3 columns is fully filled in. Oops.
That's why.
It's all right, but then you stopped it, right? So 1 out of 3 columns is fully filled in. 2 out of the 5 rows are fully filled in. 2 are double colored. Out of, here's a 5 by 3, 15.
Yep.
So here's my number sentence. Here's my answer.
And so one of the things you can look at to see that, check it when you're done, remember, we just multiply the tops together.
1 times 2 is 2.
And we multiply the bottoms together.
3 times 5 is 15.
So you can always tell if you did it right, if you figured it out right, by just going back and remember multiplying is just top times top.
Bottom times the
Bottom times bottom.
Why don't you do one on your side, and then we'll
Okay.
move on.
Well, this one's got a lot of boxes.
That is
so
a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
leave that
boxes.
one alone. So let's do this one.
Okay.
Oh, that one might be kind of hard to
Let's
see.
do the top one.
Let's do the top one. You know, it's funny. I realized that there were 6 of these now, and I really thought there were only 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's do the top one. So here we go. The green again, the colored in column, is 1 out of 1 out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 of them.
7.
So it's 1 out of 7, and then rows it's 1, 2, 3. That's a terrible 1, 4, 5, and it's 1 out of 5. So this is 1/7 times, and it says it right there.
1/5.
1/5. So, oh my goodness, there's only one box that has double colors.
Only one little double color?
One double color out of all of that mess. Because 1 times 1 is
1.
And then if you count these 7 and 5, again, it's multiplication. 7 times 5, 35. So it's 1/35.
So that's how we read a model, right? The model's done for us. We find how many columns are colored in fully, how many rows are colored in fully, double colored over the total, right? But what if we have to draw our own model?
Ooh, yeah, that's something you have to know how to do.
Yeah, and we normally do this in the class with 2 different colors. But what if you're at home and you don't have 2 different colors?
Yeah.
Or what if you don't feel like using or going to find 2 different colors? So you can use X's and circles to model the multiplication of fractions. I'll show you. So let's do 2/3 times what, like 1/4.
Sure, nice and easy.
That way we can keep it kind of big. So I start by drawing like a big square/rectangle scenario, right? And I like to do rows times columns, right? I like to think of that RC. So rows times columns. So my bottom number tells me how many rows do I need? Okay, I need 3. So I'm going to split my rows into thirds. Boom. And then the top number tells me how many do I color in. So I'm going to do those with X's, right? So I'm just going to put like just X's all over, right?
Well, actually, I wouldn't put anything there yet until you draw your columns.
Oh, okay. So this is Mr. Lamb's strategy. So I got it now. Okay. I usually use the 2 colors. Sorry, Mr. Lamb. I should have let you model this. But you're still...
It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right, guys. We can do this. All right, fine. Well, then let's now do the columns.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's make our grid.
So, okay, the bottom number tells me how many I need. I need 4. So I'm just going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the top will tell me how many I need. So these will be X's and these will be O's. Okay, so now that I have my grid, so I can X and O, right?
Yep.
So I need X's, I need 2 rows of X's. So I just put X's on all these, right? Okay, got it. I got it.
Now she's got it.
Look, he's teaching me something. Okay, so now, so that's 2/3. I put early model, right? 2 rows out of 3 have X's. Now I'm going to model 1/4, right?
Yep.
So then I just take my first column and I'm just going to make circles.
Perfect.
Right? And so now my double colored, or the ones that have an X and an O, a
and
circle
it makes
X,
it really easy to see.
There's 2 of those. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 little boxes. Look at that. That's so easy, Mr. Lamb.
And this is much nicer than like sometimes when people would try and do this in class. They would have just a pencil.
Yeah. And
so they would try and like squiggle in, and it's like I can't tell. Yeah, it's hard to see.
This does make it
this
super
makes
easy.
It super easy.
And I can check my math. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. So my answer is correct.
2/12.
That's right.
Now, do we have to reduce when we're modeling?
We don't have to, but sometimes on our test, it might also have the simplified answer.
So if it gives you choices and you don't see 2/12s,
right.
Remember 2/12s can be reduced.
Right.
Although normally when we model, we don't reduce.
Right, we don't really have to, but every now and then, right?
Every now and then they'll throw it in.
Yeah. That's those silly test makers or mean teachers. So.
Yes, they are.
All right, so that is how we model the multiplication of fractions.
Yep.
If you're confused, watch that second video, but if you feel like you got it, go ahead and do your practice for today. We'll see you later. Love ya.
Bye.